Hi to my fellow bushy faces and non-bushy faces alike. RobinIArgh here, and today I want to talk about the potential gameplay elements we might see in the upcoming Earth2 Prealpha based on previous Twitter and Discord responses as well as my own personal opinions. And if you're sitting there thinking, why are we talking about gameplay in Earth2, the platform that calls itself an open, seamless, geolocational metaverse while repping the largest virtual land registrar in existence, when my favorite creator said it wasn't real? And that's because their pre-alpha is coming out this year, baby. Mark my words. Maybe I stand by what I said, ish. If these comments are believed to be believed. And yeah. You're sitting there in disbelief, watching from your chair, while knowing that you'll be able to shake your finger in the same exact virtual spot in Earth2. Which leads me to my first major point. And if I had to guess, if I had to go with my gut, my round, rummy gut feeling, it's likely that in the pre-alpha, I believe, or what I believe will also be known as Chapter 1, we'll start off with a bang, and it will likely be one of the first things people initially said wouldn't be done, wasn't possible. And that's us actually playing on the entire, untouched, pristine planet Earth. That mountain off in the distance, you can explore it. Your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend's house, or like the next Earth2 public restroom. Am I right? There should be no place off limits in Earth2, and I have a feeling that may very well be the case, even in the pre-alpha. And if chapters sound familiar, it was revealed near the end of the Beauty of the Earth2 version 1 in-engine video, released by the E2 team in December. And I believe chapter 1 will consist of surviving, crafting, and exploring, while players really begin to populate the world and explore, and somehow involve us finding and collecting life forms to populate the world with wildlife in future chapters. And when you hear populate our world with wildlife in future chapters, it doesn't exactly sound like we're going to see a ton of wildlife right away. And any past Earth2 video supports this. They've been notably absent of wildlife. But it makes you wonder, what will we be collecting? Maybe bones, fossils, furs, some type of DNA that can be processed and brought back to life in our super sci-fi futuristic cities later on? But before we can begin any of this, the pre-alpha is going to require you to at least have a property with an active mentor in which you are actively collecting your ether, as it's likely it will be needed to synthesize your avatar. Once we do this, I assume we can start the best walking simulator in existence, which will come complete with hunger, thirst, health, stamina, potentially the requirement of sleep and rest, and maybe body temperature in the future. I'm thinking Ark survival, where if you got too hot, you jumped in the water, you found shade, and if you were too cold, you just put on more clothes. But with that in mind, I don't think Earth2 can be completely void of life, as we still need to eat, and we saw fish, turtles, and whatnot in the December video, so maybe that's on the menu, baby! And if we're eating, other things must be eating as well. I think we're going to see fishing as one of the earliest gameplay mechanics in Earth2. Fish, fish, fish. And where there's fishing, there's likely cooking, and maybe we can combine better ingredients to make better food. And where there's health, there's likely something to take health away, whether that be some sort of creature, Argh, letting your parents down so bad it caused fall damage, evil fishies, your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend whose house you turned into a public restroom, who knows? But when there's enemies, there's typically weapons. Guns? Spears? Your passive-aggressive words? I don't know. I might be reaching, but I am all in. But good news, or bad, depending on who you are, but it doesn't sound like PvP will be in the Earth2 pre-alpha. And all of this is not for nothing. Death will have consequences. And if ether is life and essence is power, I have to imagine that death equals a small amount of ether being lost. So tread lightly. A lot of large MMOs tend to have seasonal events, and if you think Earth2 won't be one of those, you're absolutely wrong. Again, maybe, I don't know. But if you've been with Earth2 long enough, or if you followed them, you would know in the past, they held these Easter egg hunts that were really miserably fun. People would shift through videos and images on announcements looking for any sign of an egg, which led to thousands of submissions to the Earth2 team of rocks, dirts, sticks, trees, buildings, sunspots. It didn't matter if it looked like an egg, people submitted it for review, all in an opportunity to win credits on the platform and or an egg icon on their profile, declaring them as one of the successful egg hunt winners. And who knows how many hours were required for the poor folks that had to sort through all these different images from various social media platforms. Well, good news. I believe the egg hunt is coming back, but on the actual platform itself. And if there's anything I like more than putting all my eggs in one basket, it's then looking for them throughout the entire planet Earth. In addition to this, I think we'll see several point of views in the game. One being an overhead view that will likely be used more and more as the real-time strategy element is introduced, or also known as the ecosim. But the immediate function the overhead view will serve right away? If I had to guess, it's the ability to buy tiles, baby!
Tiles, buy tiles, and when you get bored, just go buy more tiles. When your E number's 1,000,000, it was worth the while. And
because of course they will. The option, the ability to buy tiles while on the actual Earth2 version 1 platform is absolutely coming. Otherwise, the majority of interactions will likely take place in third-person view. I imagine they would switch to first-person view in some instances, like potentially fishing. And this will be great for viewing your avatar. And I know what you're thinking, which avatar will we be viewing though? And it sounds like Earth2 will have an option to select from a few pre-select base avatars. But as a bonus, I'm thinking we'll be able to use some of those premium avatar skins from the get-go to customize our avatars. So rather than looking like some dorky default character, you could instead choose to be Kai Young, huh? No judgment. Where maybe things like module clothing and the clothing sets would have to wait till the future. We're also likely to get some side droid interaction early on. I'm thinking kind of like Ghost from Destiny, the little robot that would follow you around and kind of help. As far as civilians go, or our Pal World-ish civilians, I wouldn't suspect anything significant on that front. Not for a little bit. Not till the ecosim. And I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, Itchy Face, but will it be multiplayer? And to that I say, look over there! Are they still here? Ah, shit. Okay, so it may start off as single player and or allow a few friends shortly after, with more multiplayer to come in the future. The real tragedy? If you are a controller fanatic like me, who absolutely hates using mouse and keyboard, well, you better get used to it because there's going to be no support for controllers early on in Earth2, so gotta get used to that KBM. Some cool extra information. Roughly 4 Earth2 days will equal 1 Earth1 day. So we might see this in the pre-alpha, and we did hear about a seasonal system in early development. But again, if 4 Earth2 days equal 1 Earth1 day, then the seasons likely won't be in sync with Earth1. Earth2 version 1 will start off as low poly, and because they are waiting to reveal gameplay much closer to token launch, I'm led to believe that the pre-alpha launch date will be announced shortly after token launch, or the Essence token launch, or they might even coincide. I could imagine Shane standing there like Oprah saying, "You get in the pre-alpha, you get in the pre-alpha." There is so many cool things on the short and long-term horizons for Earth 2, including free-to-play, player-created experiences, portals to potentially internal and external experiences, pets, the possibility of AI avatar companions, the AR, VR elements that are highly anticipated, the Earth 2 social media app potentially called My Lobby, the possibility of Earth 2 as its own centralized exchange long down the road, advertisements, the upcoming white paper, the Essence token launch, farming, the list goes on. Let me know what you are most excited for. Like, subscribe, I'm active on Twitter, reach out to me there. Till next time, my fellow meatbags, I Argh.
What did the first mate see down the toilet? The captain's log.